It's time to pour and be filled. Let's get into it. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Pour Collective podcast. I'm Rasheité Calhoun, your host for the show. And I'm so excited that you guys have been on this journey with us, just sort of breaking down the pour system with all my guests, all my friends that we've had with us. As a reminder, pour is a biblical system that helps you address and avoid burnout in ministry, as a creative, in entrepreneurship, sort of wherever you pour from. It's even been so good for moms. So if you want to learn more about the system, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. But today, we have a major, one of my favorite people in the world, Jazmin Crumley. Welcome. Hi. I cannot believe she is here. So this is my forever vocal coach.
I love you.
And she does way more than vocal coaching. Me and Jazz connect, I think it's been 8 years now, which... that's kind of crazy.
That's wild.
Because it was a couple years before I had Donovan, who's 6 now. So I think it's 8 or 9 years that we've been connected, and we have been locked in since.
And I love it, and I appreciate you for sticking it out.
Yeah, she's here in Indy, so I was like, we got to get you on the show. So thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Share with us, who are you? What do you do? Tell the people.
I'm Jazmin Crumley. I am a vocal everything.
Everything.
I'm a vocal coach, which I've been doing that for about 12 years. And so primarily I'm the owner and founder and CEO of the Outlet for Vocal Expression. And so primarily it started as a vocal coaching company, but we've moved on into arranging vocal production, direction, vocal contracting for the last few years. So anything vocal related has become us. And I'm just really, really thankful for what God has done over the last 10, 12 years for my company. I'm really excited about the things that are happening. I'm excited about the doors that are open. And I really don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. And I really can't credit myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really appreciate God. And not to say that I didn't work hard, but I know.
Yeah.
I know, that it's been God, and it's come with a lot of stuff I've had to do, but it's really been God. So, that's me. I've spent the last 14 years traveling as a professional background singer, traveling, recording, all of the things.
Yes.
And that's really kind of my heart. So I love coaching, but something about BGVs just fuels me. Yeah. I don't know. And so that's my heart. And so I've gotten to combine the coaching and the BGV aspect of the things that I do and kind of mesh it into vocal directing and contracting. And so it's been pretty cool. So I get to train the singers and then I get to put them to work, if I can. So
love it.
I love it too.
I love it, y'all. And I mean, Jazz has so much experience on national and even international stages. She's done some TV. So I appreciate you carving out some time to come and hang out with me.
Not even a question.
It means so much. So when Pour started, it really was about vocalists. Now, along the journey, I think we've picked up all types of creatives. We got artists and we have entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Like I said earlier, we have moms. Pour has been an amazing message for moms. But it started with the vocalists. So I know a lot of people that have been rocking with Pour are singers. And many of us aspire to be on bigger platforms, bigger stages. So I'm just grateful to have you as a voice to them, to share a little bit of resources. We have spent the past few episodes really focused on rest. So the R in Pour is rest. And we spent a lot of time there. It's so important. Y'all know I believe in rest. I'm just coming off of rest because I lost my voice. Yes, you fussed at me, so we're not going to talk about that today.
All right.
But I got it together. Mm-hmm. But the P in Pour is just as important, and it is preparedness. So for all the singers, all the vocalists, and your message even applies to some of the other folks in the community, but talk to us about what preparedness means to you.
I think first of all, you have to have an idea of what it is that you're trying to do, or at least what you're called to do.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of idea or vision or something ahead of you. You know what I mean? And then I think the preparation part of it is really taking whatever the necessary steps are to put yourself in a position to win. You know what I mean? Whatever that goal is, whatever that vision is, whatever it is you want for yourself, whatever you feel like God is calling you to, it's your responsibility to take the necessary steps. When it comes to singers, vocalists, a lot of us feel, and I kind of stress this one, a lot of us feel like because we have natural talent or because we have a natural gift or, I was born able to sing, that's beautiful, but that doesn't necessarily mean, first of all, I don't know that anyone is born educated on how your voice actually functions and how it works and the muscles that make different things happen in your voice. You're not born knowing those things. Those are things that you have to maybe kind of learn over time. And you don't know the function of, you can experiment, you can explore, you can sing, you can do different things, but there has to be some sort of a learning process. If this is something that you want to do either professionally or if you don't want to do it professionally, just say you want to be better at it, you know what I mean? Or as a worship leader, you may consider that professional or not. But if this is something you want to do on a consistent and a regular basis, you want to do it in excellence, you know what I mean? And even if you have a natural gift, there are still steps that you need to take for longevity. There's still steps that you need to take, especially if you want to do it in a professional setting. There are certain things you just want to know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, it's not enough to just be a good voice. It's not enough to just have natural gifting and natural talent. You want mentorship. You want people that can teach you, that can lead you, that can guide you, that have experience in the thing that you want to do. And so it's really up to you how much effort you put into it. But I tell people all the time, you have to put in the work. I don't care how gifted you are. Yeah. And that work can be vocal, but that work can also be on your character. It can be on your personality. It can be on that part. The way that you treat people, the way that you speak to people. I don't care how gifted or talented you are. As a contractor, if I feel like your personality is not going to mesh well with the other personalities that are going to be in the room, or if you don't know how to carry yourself, you don't have respect in general for people, I can't hire you. I don't care how talented you are. You know what I mean? That's huge. And so working, and those are things that you can work on. A lot of people feel like this is just who I am. This is just how I am. This is just how I act. Deal with it.
Yep.
No, I don't have to deal with it.
And I won't deal with it.
And so I would rather move on. I would rather move on to a person that may not be as skilled.
Okay, hold it. Say that again.
I would rather hire a person who's not as skilled, in this particular field.
For better character.
Yeah, absolutely. Partly because, one, I can help you level up your skill. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I can teach you what it is that I need you to know. I can guide you. I can mentor you. In a lot of cases, in some cases, I don't have the time to do that, but I'd still rather go with somebody else who can give me at least the spirit, the character, the personality that it takes to be in this particular situation. Because I know that you'll learn along the way if you have the right spirit.
Yeah, I think that's important. A lot of times when we think about preparing for the stage to sing, however big or small the stage is, I think we think about, everybody wants to warm up.
Of
right?
course,
So we warm up.
Do that.
You might do your little, your little lip exercises and all that.
Do that.
You know your song, your music, the format. Very rarely do I hear people associate character as a part of preparation, but that really is huge.
Yeah, especially because I think that's a big part of who I am. It's also become a part of my brand.
Yeah.
And my brand is just an extension of me. And so it's really important that the people that I hire are good representation of who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I know that I send people out that I can trust.
Yeah.
That won't make me look bad, that won't embarrass me, and that are good to people. I just believe in being good to people. That doesn't mean being overly nice all the time. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean being overly bubbly all the time. I'm not an overly bubbly person, but it's just important to me. I think the reason why it's become really important to me is because I know that this is a part, or this is my ministry.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm doing is my ministry, even when I'm not even when I'm not singing gospel songs on stage. You know what I mean? What I do, coaching, contracting, directing, all of these are tools. Those things are not my ministry. Those things are not my purpose, I'll say. But those are tools so that I can fulfill what I believe the ministry or the purpose
good.
is. So that's really important to me, that people, when I'm wherever I am, it's important to me that people experience God, you know. And if I don't know how to be kind to you, if I don't know how to love you, that, like I said, that doesn't mean going overboard and doing, you know, sometimes it's just being cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes people have had a rough day, they've had a terrible day, you know. If I can be a person that can offer either an encouraging word or a joke, a laugh, you know, whatever, I want to do that.
Right.
You know,
right.
like I want to do that. I want to be a bright spot, you know, in somebody's day or life or whatever else. And if I can experience a little bit of goodness in you, how do I see God? You know what I mean? And so I think we forget a lot of times people. That's the purpose. That's the ministry.
That's the ministry.
Not, for me, it's not the gift.
I love that you said that, because we do. I mean, even me, I'm thinking like singing is my ministry, and it's not. Yeah. It's a tool to do ministry, which is to love people, to grow the kingdom, and my character should show up for me whether I'm singing or not, because that truly is the ministry. Yeah.
And I think, you know, to me, the ministry starts as soon as I walk into a building. You know what I mean? If I was ugly to you when you saw me out near the bus on tour, you know, and you spoke to me and I didn't speak back, or, you know, and I heard you, I looked at you and I was ugly to you, you're not going to want to hear a word I have to say when I get on stage. You know what I mean? And I've been that way. I've been in that position. You know what I mean? I've looked at, I've admired, you know, different artists throughout my life and things like that. And then you meet them. And I can never listen to their music ever again.
It changes you. And how you hear them. I'm not interested in your worship. I'm not interested in, you know, or whatever it is. You know, I'm not interested in that ministry. I don't want that. Okay, so what about, I get all that, and I'm tracking, I'm with you. I believe in everything you're saying. But what about when you're with people or a person that you don't like or don't mesh with or don't get along with? Because oftentimes, whether it's worship leading or singing background, like, you might be caught up in the mix of people you don't like.
And I've been there too.
How's it work?
I think that you have to constantly remind yourself of who you are, why you're there, what you came to do, right? I'm also very, I don't know, I think I'm kind of intuitive. When I meet somebody who decides that they don't like me, or, you know, for whatever reason, I'm the person that always tries to dig a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that I've done nothing to wrong you. I know that. Like, I know that I'm very kind. I know that it has to be something beyond. And even if you just don't like me, or you don't, you know, that's fine too. I'm totally cool with that. But I always look to see, like, is it something a little deeper than that? Is it an experience? Is it, like, what is it, you know? Or is it jealousy, or, you know, whatever it is? It could be several different things. I'm okay with all of that, you know? My question is, what am I here to do? And if God is here with me, working through me, then whatever you think you don't like or whatever, I'm just going to bring myself to the table. It's going to be me and God. You know, and hopefully by the end of that experience, whatever your issues are or were will have dissipated. But even if not, I'm called here.
That's
you
good.
know, I'm called to be here. I I was asked to be here for a reason. God allowed this door to open for me for a reason. He allowed me to be available to say yes. And so my goal is to see what God has for me here, you know. And so if there's an issue with that, I gotta stick to what he wants me to do versus whatever you got going on. You know what I mean? So I have to keep purpose in front of me. Like, I can't be distracted by any outside factors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Keep purpose in front of you. That's good. Yeah. That's good. Okay, so we talk a lot about burnout on the podcast. Mm-hmm. You literally are ripping and running in a season right now where you are on tour doing show after show after show. Mm-hmm. Have you ever experienced burnout in the midst of all the things that you have to do? I think, my earring just fell out.
It's okay. You cute, girl.
Thank you, girl. How do you make sure that you don't get burned out with everything you got going on?
Define burnout. Like, what does that mean or look like to you?
Nobody has ever asked me to define burnout.
Like, just to you, like, what is that?
So,
what is the extent of?
I think that's actually a good question. Now I kind of want to do a series on even what burnout is. We haven't really covered that. So for me, burnout presents in a few different ways.
Okay.
I think we often think of burnout as exhaustion, right? Yeah. Just tired. Your body's tired. Body might be shutting down, you know.
Okay.
But I think burnout also can come mentally.
Absolutely.
Right? And to me, that's the hardest burnout. And it might be because you feel like you're not seeing fruit from what you're doing, and, you know, you just keep running up against that wall over and over.
Yeah.
But it just kind of presents more as a mental exhaustion.
Yeah.
And I think for creatives in general, because we fall into this cycle of creating and doing and sort of tying our value to that, we don't take the proper breaks, and that really causes us to be burned out. And then we want to quit, or we don't want to do it anymore. True. Or we're angry and can't show up, you know, the way we need to.
So, okay, by those definitions, absolutely. Yeah. I've had a few different types of experiences. Yeah. You know, I've gotten to points where I was just tired. You know, I can't say that I'm not tired right now.
Yeah.
And then this is like I'm in the middle of a stretch. So we have 4 shows back to back with no days off, which is probably the longest stretch of this tour. So I'm tired, but that's why I asked, what does burnout mean? Because I don't feel like I'm like drained to where I can't do anything anymore. Right. You know what I mean? Especially being on the road is difficult because I don't get to sleep as much as I would like to. The bus leaves at 2:00 most mornings. Last night it left at 3. You know, and so a lot of times I'm up until the bus pulls off. Like my body, my brain are just up. So that can be a little bit tricky. Yeah. Especially because the show runs until like 11 o'clock at night, and so it's a pretty long show too. So yeah, I definitely get tired. When I think of burnout, physical burnout for me, when my body starts to say no, you know, like we're doing too much, we've done too much. Yeah, I've definitely been there. Mental burnout, to where I feel like, I think I reached a place a few years ago, definitely some years ago. I reached a place where I felt like I wasn't sure if I still liked to sing. I liked to work, but just singing for fun. I can't remember the last time, this is me being very honest. I can't remember the last time I sang walking around the house.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember the last time. Like sometimes when I'm, in the bathroom or whatever, I try to make myself sing just to sing.
Yeah.
Because when you get to a point where you do it for a living, and this is what you have to do, and you have to do it this way. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Now, if you're working as an artist, it's a little bit different, but because I work as a background singer, you know, a lot of times there's a way that things need to be done,
Right.
you know. And so I got to a point where I started really asking myself, like, do I enjoy just doing this because I enjoy it?
How did that feel? Like, I just can't imagine not enjoying singing as a singer.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something I still deal with, but I know that I love to work.
Yeah.
Like, I love my job.
Yeah.
I love getting to see different parts of the world. I love, you know, meeting and helping people. I love performing. You know, I just love doing my job,
Yeah.
you know, and so I still find a lot of fulfillment in my work. But just doing it just because, like, if you meet me and you say, hey, okay, you sing something for me right now, it's literally never going to happen.
Yeah, I hate people do that.
But just, I don't know. So I don't know if that's a form of burnout. And I think a lot of it comes too because in the spaces that I'm in, I have to actively make myself sit down and practice being creative, right? So as a background singer, like I said, you have to do things a certain way. Like your sound needs to match the sound of the artist. It needs to match the sound of maybe the stems. It needs to it needs to fit within a certain formula, format, a sound that's already created.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there isn't always space for you to add your 2 cents, right?
Yeah.
However, I've also been super blessed to be in situations, even as a background singer, where I do have moments, you know, to be on stage and to do my thing, and I'm thankful for the artists that allow that. But even for those moments, I have to practice being creative so I don't lose myself. You know?
That's good. So what does that practice look like when you have to practice being creative? What does that look like?
So sometimes it is turning on whatever music I like, maybe an instrumental or something like that, and kind of like shedding to it.
Yeah.
So just being creative with whatever I hear, kind of turning up my ears to see what I hear in the music, to see what I can create around what's already there. Sometimes it's, you know, being a little bit more technical and using my ear training, using the number system. When I feel like I can't be creative on my own, I have to pull out like the number system and try to throw some random things at myself to challenge myself to hear things differently. So the process looks different. Sometimes I'll take a song that so I have an online community of singers, and it's become basically my coaching platform for those that may not be able to do the one-on-one sessions, or you know, looking for something a little bit more affordable, things like that. And so I have a community of singers called the Singer Sanctuary, and so every week I do challenges. And those challenges are either vocal challenges, industry challenge, things that'll challenge you in the area that you want to work in or be excellent in. And so one of the very first challenges that we did was called Strip and Flip. And so, but the objective of the challenge was control and creativity. And so you take a song, that song could be like a nursery rhyme or something super simple, super easy, the alphabet, you know, and you take it, you sing it, but a stripped down version of that. So no extras, no riffs, no runs, no embellishments, no vibrato, no nothing. Clean. You sing it as straight and as clean as you possibly can.
Okay.
Then you take the same snippet of a song, you sing it again, but you sing it your way. Right? And it's not something that's already been overly creative. You have to add your own thoughts and creativity to it. And so that was one of the first challenges that we did. So sometimes I do stuff like that. I take really simple things, really simple songs, really simple concepts, and I say, if I were to, you know, interpret this my way, if I wanted to add my sauce to it, what would that sound like without the influence or without too much influence from somebody else's sound?
Yeah.
Like what do I hear that's natural or common for me.
Yeah.
And I think that also helps people to find their style, their sound, their creativity. Like, what are those things that you consistently do on a regular basis? Those are things that I associate with your sound, your creativity, not things that you've stolen from somebody else, right? But things that you tend to naturally hear or gravitate to. Some people think they don't have a sound. They don't have a thing that's theirs, but a lot of times if we practice singing on a regular basis, there are things that we probably do on a regular that we don't think about, we don't hear, we don't realize it.
Yeah.
And so, practicing creativity for me comes in different forms,
I like practicing creativity. So, especially when you're sort of always creating and you feel like it becomes a job, whether it's singing or anything else. I actually recently, I was telling our show director, like, I'm not over pour. Don't y'all stay hanging with me. I'm in it. We're locked in. But pour is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love what I do. I love the community that I've created. I love doing the workshops. I've met so many people that I wouldn't have met, just from that. But there are times where it just gets exhausting.
Absolutely.
Right? Because you have to do it. I'm doing it because I have to do it. And it isn't that I don't want to do it, but sometimes I think, I don't. I just want to do nothing.
Absolutely.
I want my time.
And you should do nothing sometimes.
And so I think the practicing creativity, doing something different than what feels like work, that's a huge takeaway for me. Yeah.
And I agree with that too. I think it's important to have hobbies or things outside of that thing.
Yeah.
I think it's important to get out of the house. I think it's important to go to different places, see different things, meet different types of people, go experience some other. I am a creative. I love music. Singing is my gift. Teaching is my gift. But I'm also going to go see Alvin Ailey when they come into town. You know what I mean? Like, I love all of the things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or theater production, or I'll fly to New York and go see, I think all of that tends to inspire your creativity. Or like I said, when you meet people that are not like you, or listening to music that's outside of what you typically, now that's a big one too, let me say that.
Okay.
When practicing creativity, I do not limit myself to genre or to style or to, to listening to these certain artists all of the time. Like, you have to create some differentiation in, what you're listening, some variety in what it is that you're taking in. You have to feed your creativity.
I like that.
You have to feed your creativity. You have to pour different things into yourself so that different things can come out. And I think that if all I listen to is, who's great? I love Brandy, right?
Yep.
I love Jazmin Sullivan. If I tell you my favorite singers, it's super like singy, and they all have like similar voice types.
Yeah.
But if I only listen to those people, my sound becomes limited. What I'm able to produce
is going to sound just
is going to be very, very limited.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way I could do. There's one show I do the vocal directing for Black Music Honors. I love that show. I love doing award shows or like Urban One Honors. I love doing those shows because there's always a variety in the performances, right? There's going to be gospel music. There's going to be soul music. There's going to be R&B. There may be some pop influenced, things in there. Several different sounds and not just different genres, but different eras of music.
Yeah.
Right? 70s soul music and R&B does not sound like 90s.
At all.
Yep. I had to do a reference for a record one time. It was, I want to say maybe a Christmas song, but it was in the style of like the Anderson sisters, so like the 50s, but if I'm not studied enough
You can't do it.
I can't produce
Yeah.
what people ask me to produce.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to take more things in so that I can pull more things out. And so you can't get stuck in whatever it is that you like
Yeah.
to hear over and over and over again. Even if it's something that you don't like, there may be something that you can take from it to use, you know, for your
Yeah.
creativity. So that's really important too. So I encourage people to study something else, to listen to something different, see what you can get out of it and practice it.
That's good.
You know, find something new that you can work on.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about the longest riffs and runs. Like, there's so much more to creativity
Yes.
than that. You know, I won't say I hate it, but it makes me feel a way when I ask people, they come to me for coaching, and I say, you know, what is it that you're looking for? You know, I want to be able to do more runs, and I want, you know, that's fine. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get there. But there's so many other great things.
Listen, I remember
know?
I think you did a vocal challenge for me once, and I could not do a run, but I had to sing a song creatively and couldn't do a run. And I'm like, well, how do I do that?
Yeah.
But I had to learn there are other ways to approach a song and
Absolutely.
be creative and make it different
And
without running.
And I tell people, runs don't sell records.
Yeah.
Like, so I always ask the artist that's in front of me, like, what is your goal? You know, is it just to be creative and just do things the way that you want to do them? Or do you want to create songs that people can sing back to you? You know, and if they're not songs that people can sing back to you, you know.
And most people can't run.
It's a little risky if you're doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying to dumb yourself down. I'm just saying to be strategic.
Yeah.
I think there's a place for all of it. You know, I'm going to give you a riff or a cute little something, you know, in what I do. But I'm also going to give you dynamics, crescendos, decrescendos. I'm going to give you vibrato. I'm going to give you straight tones. I'm going to give you color. I'm going to give you variations of colors. I'll give you bright. I'll give you dark. You know what I mean? And
Singers. And when she says she's going to give it to you, she is giving it, y'all.
It's fun. It's what makes it. It's what makes being creative fun.
Yeah.
You know, you may hear the jazz influence there. You may hear the gospel influence. You may hear the R&B influence. You may hear some country influence. You know, you'll hear some pop in. Like, to me, that inspires me when I hear people. Some of my favorite artists to listen to are not singy singers. Like, when I'm listening to music in my car, if I have anything on at all. When I'm listening to music in my car, the people that I like to listen to aren't always singing down. You know, like, I like stuff that makes me feel a way that I can pull some different kind of inspiration from, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know how we got there, but
I like it. Okay, I don't want to get too far past this community that you have. Okay, so tell us more about it. We need to hear about that.
So Singer Sanctuary is the name of the community, and it's just become, you know, a real thing. I started it in, I want to say late May of this year. I'm still coaching. I'm still doing one-on-one sessions, but it just looks different.
Yeah.
Now the demand is different, and so the value of that one-on-one time is different. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And so it looks different, you know, but I didn't want to push aside the people that were already working with me. I didn't want to push aside people that wanted to work with me, that wanted to connect. And so, you know, I found a way to still coach, to still guide, to offer mentorship, to offer a place where you have a network of singers that you can be challenged with, but also be accountable with.
Yeah, that's good.
When it comes to those challenges that we do every week, you have to upload videos of yourself doing those challenges, right?
Oh, okay.
And so it really keeps you accountable to the group, you know, but also it's a chance for me to get to see what it is that you do, how well you grow, how well you take direction and instruction.
Yeah.
You know, people often ask how to get gigs and opportunities, and the reality is auditions don't happen very often. It's about your network a lot of times. It's about who knows you, not just who you know, but who knows you, who can recognize you, who knows your skill set, who knows your character, your personality. Again, it's about your relationships.
Yeah.
So it's a place to build relationships, but also to grow your skill, you know. And to me, it's like, that's everything.
That
you know
is
what I
everything.
mean? Like it's everything's kind of built in right there, but it's affordable, you know, for especially in comparison to what, you know, the one-on-one sessions are. And there's still plenty of people who still want to do the one-on-one sessions, and I encourage that because I focus on you. My goal is to zone in on your areas of, you know, need or where you're challenged, and I create a curriculum, if you will, or I create a plan for your voice catered to your specific needs.
Yep.
So I'm there with you every step of the way, you know. So if people need that, then they still come. I still have a good bit of one-on-one clients, but for those that can't do that, or if you want to do both, you know, because you get a relationship with me if you do one-on-ones, but if you're looking for relationships with other people, other singers, other vocalists that are in the field, that are just like you might want both.
Yeah.
You know, you might want an opportunity to continue showing me, you know, how you're growing and things like that with these specific challenges, and you might not get them in your one-on-ones. So they both have their own benefits, but the community is just a beautiful place, you know, to be to me.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoy the people there, especially those that are committed to showing up. Like you get the most out of it when you show up. If you're just kind of sitting back waiting, you know, on an opportunity to come your way, like that's okay, that's cool, you know what I mean? But when you're an active participant, you get so much more out of it. So it's called the Singer Sanctuary. And so I encourage people, if you follow me, it's in my links in my bios and all of that. But if not, you can go to singerssanctuary.mn.co. And you can join that way. But it's members access only. We also do live Q&As.
Okay.
Every month, at the fourth Monday of every month. And there's like a topic of focus. This month we're focusing on vocal technique. But we've also talked about prepping for live shows, television shows. We've talked about vocal health. We've talked about branding and social media and how to put yourself out there. I've done some assessments of the people in the community, and I said, you know, maybe we could tweak this, take this down, remove this, and add this, put this here. So just different, like I care about my people, you know what I mean? And so whatever it is that I see that I can help you in, that's what I do with the community. So it's a great place to be. We do physical health challenges. One of my members yesterday, I did a live, and he got on. He said he's almost lost 25 pounds since the community has started because he's committed to doing the challenges, and I love it. Like,
listen, your physical health is important.
It. And I don't care how long you've been singing. I don't care how much experience you have. Like, there's something that you can get out of it, even if it's just remaining accountable to the basics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your breathing technique and just learning the fundamentals of how your voice works. It's great. I love it.
I love it, y'all. The Singer Sanctuary. I'll make sure to drop the link for you guys here so you can grab it. Listen, singers, vocalists, worship leaders, if you're on worship teams. I started working with jazz when I was just singing on the worship team and starting to get opportunities to do solo things. And I knew I needed to do better. Listen, a lot of times in church, it's based on our talent.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can sing, come on and sing. And there's not many opportunities to really, really hone in and work on your craft and work on that skill. And so I encourage people all the time, seek out those opportunities. The Singer Sanctuary, very affordable, is a huge opportunity for singers and vocalists to jump on to just get better. You know, y'all, many of us want to elevate, and we have to do the work to do that. So that's the way to do it.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you came to hang out with us.
Me too.
This was so good.
Thank you.
This is probably going to be my favorite episode. Sorry to all my previous guests. I love y'all.
My bad. I love it.
Any last thoughts or comments before we go?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for inviting me here. I've always wanted to do something just like this. So thank you for being the first.
I'm so glad.
I appreciate that. I've been really excited. So I'm just I'm praying that, you know, God does amazing things through you.
Thank you.
So just thank you. I love y'all.
Love you too.
Okay.
Thanks, Jazmin. All right, y'all. You got to come back for the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Love y'all.